Hello beautiful people, Astrology Guy here. Welcome back to my channel. Do not roll up on someone and say, come over, we're gonna do puzzles for our first date night. I can't let you go out like that. So no wasting time. Here is part 2 of the best first dates for each sign of the Zodiac, Virgo through Aries. Let's go. Okay, so if you're taking a Virgo out on a first date, we all know Virgos, and I love you Virgos for sure, but we all know you Virgos can be pretty picky. So the perfect first date for a Virgo is one where you say to them, I would really love to take you out, and because of that, I want to give you a name that date pass. Meaning your Virgo gets to pick the place, the time, the date, and it's just your job to deliver, because Virgos can be very particular and they definitely know what they want and like and don't like. So a way to make sure that they have a great time on their date and that they are excited by the idea of a second date is by showing them that you can deliver on exactly what they want. Show them that you are the type that can listen to what it is they desire and give them exactly that. Also, Virgos are so used to doing everything on their own and doing things for other people. It's a rare situation that someone is doing something for a Virgo, because everyone always thinks that Virgos have it all covered, because that's the energy that they sometimes give off. So a Virgo would really love for someone to approach them with a name your date pass. Now, if they say, well, I want you to choose, then okay, now you can pick something for sure, because this is what they are telling you that they want. But phone one of their friends, call a family member. I don't care what you have to do, but do whatever it is you have to do to find out what they like, because it will also impress them that you took the time to really get to know what they like, and they will love the fact that you cared enough to try to make the date special. So the perfect date for a Virgo is one where they express their wish list and you make it come true. Now Leos, the perfect date for a Leo is making sure that you are expressing through your efforts how special you think they are. So be ready to do it and do it big. Now, Leos aren't materialistic, but they do like the best of the best. So be ready to deliver if you want to make a great first impression. What you want to do is find out the most talked about attraction in your city. If it's a new restaurant that everyone's talking about, that's where you're going to take your Leo. If it's a new show in town and everyone's talking about that, well, that's where you're going to take your Leo. Leos are very social and they're all about staying at the forefront of the most recent trends. So whatever is trending in your area, that's where the two of you should go. Either pick them up or send an Uber for them, but make them feel as special as possible. If they offer to pay for any part of the date, don't let them do it. They're very generous and they would really appreciate if someone actually put forth the effort to spoil them on a night that's supposed to be a special night for them. With a Leo, you can show up with a small gift. It just adds to the excitement. Basically treat the night like it's a birthday celebration of the most important person in your life. And that Leo is that person. Leos are pretty much up for anything as long as it feels sexy and current and special. It needs to feel like a night that you can't just experience any old time. You will make the best impression if it feels exclusive, upscale, socially vibrant, and non-stop exciting. With moments of clear romance, make sure you let them know how irresistible you find them. Give them your full focus and don't have wandering eyes at any point during the date. So the good news is it doesn't need to be as detailed and calculated and specific as a date with a Virgo, because Leos, like I said, are up for anything. Just make sure you tick these boxes. You pick up the tab, you arrange the travel, make sure the destination is a currently talked about and well-reviewed spot that everyone has been wanting to go to, be presenting your absolute best physically, because they sure will, and be up for whatever they suggest along the way. And above all else, make sure you are showing them how special you think they are. That should for sure get you a second date. Okay, Cancers. Now the main thing when you go out on a date with a Cancer is romance, laughter, and emotional connection. This is another one where you want to pick up the bill for whatever you guys do. If you asked a Cancer out, then they are under the impression that since you asked them out, then you've got that part handled. So don't take them out for dinner and when the bill comes, say, do you want to split it? Cancers aren't materialistic, but that behavior on the first date just reads cheap and doesn't feel special at all. It's definitely not romantic. It feels a bit like the friend zone. Down the line, if you two end up together, Cancers are for sure all about working as a team, so you can address how money is handled later, but on the first date, let them know that you do have some traditional values. They will find that comforting and sexy. Now, whatever you do, don't ask a Cancer out on a date where you're going to be meeting up with your friends. They don't want to be in a situation where you know everyone and they don't. It just makes them feel like the odd person out, and that's no fun at all, especially on a first date. Down the line, they will love to meet your friends, but once they get to know you first. Okay, so the perfect date for a Cancer, you know those movie theaters that have reclining chairs and blankets and a cool atmosphere where you can order food and drinks from the servers throughout the movie? This is a great start. It's more than just a standard movie, but it gives that Cancer of yours a bit of time to relax with you, enjoy the movie with you, enjoy food with you, some drinks, and you two can even cozy up in the theater because of how it's set up. Now make sure it's one of those types of theaters that I'm talking about. Your standard movie theater where you're sitting right up on everyone else and they're smacking their popcorn in your ear, that's not gonna have the same effect. One of these dinner theater spots will make a great first impression and give a Cancer that cozy feeling, that one-on-one vibe that they would definitely like. You want to make sure that after the movie, you take them to your local outdoor social area, like some promenade or boardwalk where you are out among people, but it's really just the two of you connecting and talking about the show that you just saw, or walking by certain stores, walking by certain bars, out in the night sky under the stars. This is the chance where the two of you can connect on a deeper level, but still keeping it kind of lighthearted and fun. Cancers are super romantic, but they don't like when things move way too fast. They want to really get to know you as much as possible and have an emotional connection before they can confirm that it's a romantic connection. So this after movie conversation and experience is crucial. Whatever you do not bring up your ex in the conversation. Don't check anyone else out while you're walking with them. You want them to feel like even though the two of you are out in the night sky, walking among people, that the world has become a bit of a blur and the two of you are really connecting based on who you two are as people. Ask them about the kind of music that they love or what their favorite movie of all time is. A Cancer loves to bond based on intimate things that the two of you have in common. So focus on getting to know them and allowing them to get to know you. When they begin to feel that personal, one-of-a-kind connection where the two of you have something between you that only the two of you can have, that's when the magic happens. And you will for sure be getting a second date. Okay, so the first date with a Gemini. Now, one of the greatest things about a Gemini is they're super smart in a very unique way. Sometimes they can come off as being a bit of an airhead and all over the place, and then they say something where you're like, wow, I really never thought about it that way. And what I love most about Geminis is that all of them have a very cool way of allowing you to be playful without judgment. So the best first date with a Gemini is somewhere you can for sure let your playful side and their playful side roam free while still connecting on a very adult emotional level. And one place that is great for this type of connection is an amusement park. Now, maybe for the second, third, or fourth date, you can do the whole romantic dinner and a movie thing, but on the first date, you want to let your Gemini know that you know how to have fun and that you understand the value in having multiple things to do. An amusement park will tick all of those boxes. It's constant motion where you two are checking out one attraction to the next, so the adventure is there. It gives you the opportunity to have great conversation throughout the experience. You can have romantic moments where maybe one of you wins a stuffed animal for the other when you play one of those games that the amusement parks have. They have food there, so you can take those moments to relax and maybe people watch, which offers up the perfect opportunity to show your sense of humor and wit as you two are commenting on all the people that are walking by. Some amusement parks have adult beverages, which can also add to the fun. It's just an overall great time and the perfect place for you to show your Gemini a good time where the two of you are laughing, talking, and experiencing an adventure that, if the relationship works out, will end up being a great first date story and memory for the two of you. Now, make sure you take the time to ask your Gemini questions about themselves to show them that you really want to get to know them on a personal level. Being fun and playful is great, but they also need to know that you have a side where you can offer up some substance and that you are genuinely interested in possibly getting closer to them. They don't mind talking about past relationships because it actually gives them a window into what you've been through, but just don't talk about politics or controversial topics on the first date. This is an area for anyone that can be annoying, but Geminis tend to have a strong viewpoint when it comes to these topics, and if you have a viewpoint that they see as closed-minded, it can really turn them off. They love to explore ideas, but don't turn the date into a political debate. Stick to asking them things like, what's your favorite movie? Do you come from a big family? What's your favorite food? What show are you currently binge watching? Things like that, lighthearted stuff where you're getting to know them and seeing what you two have in common. Storing that information away and then surprising them on the second date with one of these things that they told you that they really loved. This way they know you were listening and you are someone that really has the potential to be emotionally present and not self-absorbed. So the first date with a Gemini needs to have variety, some moments of emotional, romantic connection, but above all else, the energy of just letting go and having a good time in a unique environment. This way you will for sure be set up for a second date. Okay, Taurus. Now, when it comes to the first date with a Taurus, you of course want it to be romantic. Absolutely fun, not too heavy with the drama. They don't need an orchestra playing outside of their bedroom window when you pick them up. But you do want to put some thought into it, and for sure you want to make sure that on the first date you pick up the bill. This isn't because Tauruses are materialistic necessarily, but you do want them to know that you honor a bit of tradition in terms of whoever asked the person out is the person who's meant to pick up the bill. If you pull one of those want to split the check moments with a Taurus, they will be cool about it in the moment, but they'll leave thinking, no thanks when it comes to the second date. Now, the perfect date for a Taurus is one of those cooking class dates. It's the perfect setup for you two to be able to get a bit dressed up and be able to do something that's a bonding activity like cooking, while for sure laughing and having a good time, because they do serve wine or drinks at these things. And it's also funny taking any sort of class where one of you has some skills and the other one might be a little challenged. And in the culinary arts, Tauruses are usually naturally pretty gifted, so you will be the one supplying the humor as you try and execute these cooking instructions. You also will have the opportunity to help each other out and just have moments of connection. It's a great way to get to know each other while doing something romantic like cooking together, because that represents an activity that for sure will be a part of your future together, and Tauruses love a promising future. All while your Taurus has the opportunity to show off a bit with how easy they're making the whole process look. This will be the first part of the date. Then part two would for sure involve a walk along an area that you would consider to be the most beautiful in terms of scenery that you know of. After having a great time, taking a fun cooking class together and sharing in great food, now the two of you can take a walk in nature or maybe watch the sunset depending on what time you plan the date. A walk under the night sky with the stars as your backdrop will definitely do the trick. The thing is, you want to experience a connection in nature as you both take in the beauty of that special night and each other, while now starting to get a bit more intimate with your conversation and connection. This is the type of romantic, fun, emotionally connecting experience your Taurus will remember for sure and absolutely want more of. Keep the conversation about spirituality, what you want out of life, the type of relationship you envision for yourself, and the life that you want to experience with that special someone. A Taurus loves to know that you have dreams for your future, so this way they know they're not wasting their time with someone that doesn't have goals. This type of date would be one where you will for sure have a great chance to leave your Taurus wanting a second date. Okay, last but not least, Aries. I really love you Aries out there. I've definitely had some great first dates with Aries. The thing is, with an Aries, you want to make sure that the date isn't too serious or too heavy. Aries loves to have fun, to physically have a good time. We also know that Aries have fun being a bit competitive as well. So with an Aries, you have a number of options. You can go bowling, you can go to a trendy and cool arcade and make sure if it's an arcade, it is trendy and cool with an area that you can sit down and have food and maybe some drinks, not some broken down spot with a bunch of kids running around and you're playing old games with tokens. Another great place to take an Aries is to a comedy club. Really anywhere the two of you can interact, laugh, have some conversation, play some games for some friendly competition. You just want to make sure that it isn't boring or basic. The romance for an Aries comes when they see that you have energy and you have the excitement for whatever the two of you do and that you show interest in them. Aries are used to being the ones who initiate conversation, so the more you can ask them questions about themselves, the better. You don't want to be the person who talks about yourself the whole time. Show your Aries that you're fascinated by the idea of finding out who they are, what their story is, how they came to be who they are today. If you choose one of the options I mentioned earlier, make sure the date has a part 2 where you two stop by and get some drinks or appetizers. You want the date to have a few different destinations where you two can experience different activities together and your Aries can see that you can be the driving force and that you have ideas. Don't don't just keep asking your Aries, well, what do you want to do next? They will have no problem coming up with the ideas, and it won't even bother them if you ask them that question, but they will be much more impressed and pleased if they get to relax a bit and just worry about having fun while someone else takes the lead for a change. Make sure that anyone you interact with, a hostess, a waiter, any stranger on the street that you may encounter, make sure you treat them with dignity and respect. Aries is not at all impressed, and they're actually very turned off by someone who is rude or condescending in any way. The most important thing on a date with an Aries is variety, fun, physical activity, and showing them that you have asked them out to really get to know who they are as a person, and to show them that not only do you know how to have a good time and to take the lead when necessary, but that you are also kind and romantic and a confident person. If you leave them with that impression, you will for sure get the chance for a second date. Okay, so there you have it, the best first date for each sign of the Zodiac, part 2, Virgo through Aries. I hope you all enjoyed the information. If you did, please hit that like button. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and hang out with me. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video.